Hi Flosstube, I'm Rachel, stitch.rach, here on Flosstube and also on Instagram. It's Monday the 4th of March and this is my YouTube channel where I talk about cross stitch. Hi everyone, how's it going? It's been a little while since I've been here. I think my last time was when I did my whip parade back in January. And as usual, of course, I did intend to come back sooner, but then life and things happened. So I'm back. It's the beginning of March, but the good news or the bad news, depending on your point of view, is that I have quite a lot of stitching to show you. So this could be a reasonably long one today. We'll see how we go. There's not loads. It's not loads, but maybe a little bit longer than a standard YouTube. So I hope you're all well. Big welcome to any of you that are tuning in. Thank you to my long-suffering subscribers who come back every time. And on my whip parade, I had a massive influx of new subscribers and new viewers. And I think that video got to nearly 1,000 views, which was just amazing. So if you're new here, thank you so much. I'd love to know how you found me. Do leave me a comment. I'm getting better about responding to comments as well. But yes, thank you. So I'm sorry it has been so long. As I said, I didn't mean it to be. But just, yeah, it was just, as usual, a little bit busy. I think the week I was scheduled to do another Flosstube was the week before half term. And half term was super busy and that we were away twice. And that week before ended up being a lot of getting ready. And then we had half term where we went up to see the in-laws, more of which in a little while. And then at the end of the week we took our eldest to Rome for a long weekend, which was awesome. Had such a good time. Walked a very long way. Me and my husband had been to Rome about 20 years ago, but we took her for her kind of first city break, like grown-up city break. So did that. And then we had a week back at school. So I think we're on week 3 after half term now. I think that's about right. Anyway, the first week was utter chaos. There was like a concert at school and all the animals had to go for their annual vet appointment. And one of the voluntary roles I had to do some work for that. So it just ended up being a very busy week. And then last week I was trying to get back on top of the week before and it was parents' evenings at school and it's all just felt like, oh. So it's nice to finally come and sit down and have a chat to you. And then at the very end of last week we found out where our eldest, which high school our eldest had been allocated, which was our first choice. So we're really happy. But it's just been, since I last saw you, it feels like a lot has happened. So yeah, but you're not here really to hear about the ramblings of my life, I don't think. Hopefully you're here to see some cross stitch. And I have a big pile of it right next to me. So I'm tempted to just kind of dive in. I have 2 finishes, a few whips. I don't know how many whips, I'm not going to count them. A few. I have some knitting. I have some plans to talk to you about. I have some solutions to talk to you about. I have some haul to talk to you about. So I suppose on that basis we should just like really get cracking. Right. So I haven't gone back and watched my January video or my whip parade before filming this. So I apologise if you've seen some of this before. I think I've got a decent handle on where we were. Right, so I have a finish to show you first. And it's not a finish you have seen as a whip or anything. You may have seen it on my Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, you may well have seen this on my Instagram, but it is not anything I've shown on my Flosstube channel before. Here it is. This is Bird in the Hand Valentine by Heart in Hand. I started this, I think, the day after I filmed my whip parade. So for the last few years I have stitched my husband something for Valentine's every year. We don't really celebrate Valentine's, don't go out for a meal or anything, but it's an excuse for me to stitch him something. more than anything. And I hadn't planned anything this year, and I really hummed and hawed, and I was like, oh. And then I was like, no, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And I went and bought this little chart, and I was like, oh, that's fairly quick. It was not as quick as I anticipated. It's only 60 by 60. But it did take me a while. I think partly because I could only do it out and about stitching, because obviously in an evening he's round. And Valentine's Day was actually, I think it was the Tuesday or the Wednesday of half-term week. Was the 14th. Was it the Wednesday, maybe? Anyway, I think so. I think it was the Wednesday of half-term week. And we had gone away to his parents on the Friday before Valentine's Day. So I knew I had to basically have it pretty much done before that Friday. I don't think I did. I think when we got home on Tuesday the 13th, I had to do some, because sorry, it's very logistical, boring. We all went up together to his parents on the Friday before Valentine's Day. And so I left this stitch at home. But then how it often works when we go to his parents live in Shropshire, but they don't, it's about half an hour's drive from Stafford, which is on the West Coast Main Line. My husband works in London, so usually either I drive up with the kids and the dog and he gets the train up and someone picks him up at the station, or we all drive up together and then he gets the train to work and then I drive home with the kids and the dog. So he got the train to work on Tuesday morning, so I drove home with the kids and the dog. So we were all here. I think we got home about lunchtime. We set off quite early. And so I did some mad stitching on the day before Valentine's Day to get it finished. He doesn't expect things to be FFO'd. He knows me. We've been married 16 years. It's fine. He knows. So I did this for him as kind of a last minute stitch. I do intend to finish it, but you know me. You know me. It has a little heart charm, which came with the chart from Hands On Design, and I did it in all the called for colours, which I now cannot remember what they were. I want to say they were Classic Colourworks. I think they were Classic Colourworks. But it was whatever was called for. Anyway, so that was my little Valentine's finish for my husband. It was ironed at one point, but it's since been folded up inside the card and whatnot. But it was a really cute little stitch. I would definitely recommend it. I did do it a bit wrong. See if you can spot it. But no, pretty happy with that. So that was my 2024 Valentine's stitch from my husband. There we go, pop it there. That was the first thing I've finished since I last saw you. I don't think, I may have mentioned it on my whip parade. I don't even know if when I filmed my whip parade I definitely decided I was going to do it. So can't quite remember. But anyway, so that was one thing. And then the second thing I finished is in this House of Stitch and Stash project bag. And it is, I will show you. Oh, this was on... I think it's 36 count raw linen from Zweigart. I think that's what that is. Sorry. Anyway, my second finish is my February wordplay. So, alright, let's footle this around. There we go. I think in my first Flosstube of this year, I'd said I was planning to do all the word plays this year. I've borrowed the charts from a very kind stitchy friend, and I'm going to do one a month in that month. So I am on track. I finished my February one. I finished it much later in the month than I did my January. January is on the same piece of fabric there. Mainly because of this, because obviously that had to be done, so that got more of my attention in the early part of the month than this did. But I really like this. I really like the reds in it. And I really like that couple there. I think they're really... I really enjoyed stitching them, actually. And I'm not generally a people stitcher. I mean, obviously they're fairly abstract people. But yeah, really enjoyed that. I'm really enjoying this series, actually. They do stitch up very quickly. And I'm stitching them on... I couldn't remember what this linen was the other day, but it's a 36 count flax, I think. That's what I got. I just got it from Wool Warehouse, one of their pre-cuts, but I'm pretty sure it's flax. I think I'll be able to get at least 4 on here. So I'll move on quickly and talk about the next whip, which is the March wordplay. There you go. That's what the March one looks like. And I have made a very, very, very small start on that down here. I did it watching Gladiators on Saturday night. So there you go, I've got the key and a house in. The light colours do show up better in person than they do on camera, because there's some snowflakes in there that you struggle to see on the January one. But yeah, the key and the start of a house. I had to unpick the house. I got too engrossed in Gladiators and did some of it wrong. I'm stitching all of them with all the called for threads, which are all Gentle Arts. Most of them I can pull from stash. I have had to buy a few. But as you know, if you've been here for a long time, I'm trying to build up my collection of Gentle Arts. So I have more of them in stash, pardon me. So yeah. So hopefully by next time I see you, March will be, if not done, then well on the way to be done. And I have to have finished it by... or kind of by the 22nd of March, I think, or yeah. So the friend I borrowed the charts from, I'm seeing at the Essex Needles Retreat at the end of March. Really looking forward to going to that. It's only a few weekends time now, so very, very much looking forward to being back in Essex with Elaine and Teresa and you know, my other lovely stitchy friends. Particularly looking forward to seeing Kirsty and Janet. And I hope you all saw Janet's special appearance on Kirsty's Flosstube at the Kent Stitching Day there, and that was very amusing, particularly with the spa guests in the background. Anyway, so the friend I borrowed the charts off is at Essex, and the deal is that I have 3 at a time because they're out of print, so it's fine. So I need to finish March so I can return the January, February, March, and in return receive April, May, June. So yeah, on track with that. So I've had 4 finishes so far this year. By the end of February I was on 4 finishes. Which for me is pretty good going. If I can keep up that pace, it'll be a bumper year for me. Bumper year. What else have I been stitching on? So, in my last video, I had got out my oldest whip, which is Heritage Crafts. Britain in Stitches, Kent. It's the map of Kent. And this is my oldest whip. If you watch my whip parade, you'll know I'm not entirely sure when I started it, but it's coming up for about a decade old-ish. So there's not a huge amount more on this, excuse me, than you saw in my whip parade if you watched that. Although I know some of you don't do whip parade, so there'll be a bit more than when you saw it in my last Flosstube. But here it is. I've been focusing some more on that upper corner, and I'm really getting there. I would very much like to finish this year. It's just a question of getting in there and getting some more stitches on. But you can do it. You can do it. It is absolutely doable. This back stitching for the place names is tricky because sometimes you're only going over one thread, and I do have to be a bit careful because I do sometimes lose the thread. It slips underneath the weave, but we're getting there. We are getting there, so hopefully you can see some progress on that. I did put this one away at the end of January, and I'm not planning to stitch on it in March. I think I'm going to plan to stitch on it in April. So I doubt I'm hoping to film again in March, but at the moment I'm finding it such a struggle to sit down and film that I don't want to make promises I can't keep. But if I do film again in March, I doubt you will see any. I doubt you'll see this one. So my plan is not to bring this one back out till April. It's stitched on some kind of cream 28 count linen in all the called for DMC. Yes, it would be lovely to have a finish on that this year. It's on my whip go board for a finish. We'll see. We will see. So that's that. As I say, I put that away at the end of January. And I put it away at the end of January because I decided that the time had very, very much come and I needed to stitch on cardinal points. It had to be done. It had to come out and it had to be worked on. Otherwise it was never going to be finished. So if you watch my whip parade, you will have heard my long and tumultuous feelings about cardinal points, but I am determined to finish it this year. I don't know if you remember on my whip parade there's like loads of fabric on it. For some reason I like to stitch it in this piece of like blanket sized fabric. So I have cut the fabric down to a reasonable size so I don't have mountains and mountains of fabric. And I have put my snap on and basically have, since you last saw me, done this kind of vase and flowers in it. That's nearly finished. I think there's a few stitches missing from the arms of the urn and then there's the middle of the flowers. But otherwise that is basically done, that urn. I haven't stitched on it like all of February. I think it only came out for the second half of February, so it came out once this was finished. And I do find that it is slow going. I don't know why. I just seem to stitch slower on it than I do on other things. Sorry, there's a needle flapping around. I know you can see I'm just starting the next flower. There's another flower here and then that's basically this quarter done. I just seem to stitch on it slower. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because of all the colour changes. I don't know. You know, if it's not your first time here, you know I have a hard time with this project. But I'm going to keep it out through March. I'm going to stitch on it through March. I'll see how I feel. I might even take it to Essex. So if you're in Essex, you might see this in real life. Yeah, I need some concerted effort on it, but I'm really looking forward to finishing this quarter. And then I need to, so down here, one of the last times I had it out, I decided not to go through and do all the fiddly leaves. So now I'm in two minds about whether when I finish this, hopefully tonight, this flower, I'll go in and put in the leaves that are missing, or if I'll move up here and do this cardinal. But it's staying out till the end of March. And hopefully we'll make some meaningful progress. And then I can get the Kent map back out for April. I'm kind of hoping to alternate those two projects by month. The Kent map and cardinal points until hopefully they're both finished. That would be lovely. This is stitched on 36 count linen, white linen by Zweigart in all the called for gentle arts, 1/2. I don't like stitching 1/2 on 36 count. I don't think that helps me. I mean, there's a lot of things about this project that don't bring me joy, apart from how beautiful it is. When it's finished, I'll love it. I will love it. It's just getting to that point, isn't it? Just getting to that point. The colours are fabulous. But I am stitching on it. It will be done. People like after my whip parade, some of you know me better, I got a few messages going, come on, just stitch on cardinal points already, just get it over with. We can't bear to hear you talk about it anymore. And I was thought, fair. That is fair. I couldn't bear to hear me whinge about it anymore either. Yeah, there you go. Right. What else? I think I've done a little bit more on this since I last saw you, but again, this is something that was put away at the end of January, so I don't quite know how much has been. Can't remember exactly where it was and exactly what's happened on it since I last saw you. But anyway, what is it? This is the Three Musketeers Sal by Stitching Book Club. There we go. So that is where I am on that one. I don't think I'd quite got that far on my whip parade. I think I did a bit more following my whip parade. This is a Sal by Stitching Book Club, which is part of Sapphire Mountain Handcraft. I will link them below. I think the Sal was from like 2019 or something. I'm keeping it in this wonderful Penelope's Pocket project bag. And it was originally charted in DMC, and I did a conversion to things I had in stash. So I've got some classic colour work, some colour and cotton, and some gentle arts. And it's on a piece of Crafty Kitten 32 count, some kind of blue fabric. I got something like blue sky or something, clear sky, something like that. Anyway, so that's where that one is. Hopefully that one will, I'd like to finish that as well. That's one of my older whips, so I'd like to get that one done this year too. That's going to be out and about stitching. I've just been doing other things for out and about stitching, so when other projects are finished, that will probably come back for out and about stitching, and we can get a bit more done on it. Yeah, I would like to finish that. Right. And then the final whip I have been working on is what I've mainly been working on for out and about stitching. I just realised all the threads caught in the zipper, which is not great. And this is my, sorry, bits of stuff everywhere. It doesn't have a cover sheet, this one. This is the Celebration of Colour Sal by the lovely Roz of Roz Clark Crafts. I'm a little bit behind, so I'm going to sneeze, hold on. This happened last time, didn't it? Am I going to sneeze? I've got a bit of a cold. Yeah, I was going to sneeze. Everyone in my house has got a bit of a cold at the moment. I think we're all just feeling a bit more. Hopefully as the weather warms up a bit. Anyway, I digress. So I am a little bit behind on this. I'll show you where I am. I am here. So we're kind of over halfway around the colour wheel now. I am currently stitching yellow green, which was last week's release, and then on Sunday, so yesterday, Roz released the green section. So I'm about halfway through yellow green. The sections aren't big, just last week just didn't have a lot of stitching time. And yeah, so I will get that done. Really, really enjoying this Sal. It's really enjoying. The parts are quite quick. I think we've finished all the yellow outlining now. But what I'm enjoying as much as the stitching of it is the really informative, interesting videos Roz is making that accompany the release of each part. Even if you're not stitching this Sal, I would really recommend going over and watching those videos. They're so interesting about how we think about colour and how we place colour and use colour and how our brains process colour. Really interesting. I would thoroughly recommend them. And if you are thinking you'd like to do this, it's a free Sal on Roz's link tree. So you can go onto her Instagram page, and there's a link through, and the parts are free. They're definitely going to be free till the end of the Sal. I don't know if Roz is then going to potentially put them on her Etsy shop or anything. I don't know what her future plans are for it, but if you are thinking about it, go and download them now because they're free. And it is really, really good fun. It's good fun to pick your colours, it's good fun to stitch. Yeah, I'm stitching mine on 36 count white Swigart fabric, and I'm stitching it 2/2. I like 2/2 on 36 count. I know a lot of people find that a bit bulky. I like it, and I think for this, where I want to really be able to see the colour, it's yeah, it's much better. My only regret is that I think my yellow orange and my yellow were too similar. I can see the difference, but I've really got to look. Really got to look. So if you look at these squares here, so you've got red, orange. Is that right? No, what have I got? Yeah, red, orange, orange, yellow, and yellow, and I just think they're too close together. And again, there is a small difference, but it is small. And interestingly, Roz was talking about kind of that phenomenon on one of her recent videos, about how a colour can look quite different and a big chunk of it when you're selecting colours, but actually in reality when you put them together in stitching, how there isn't as much difference as you think. This is my palette of colours. They're all DMC that I pulled from Stash. So yeah, hopefully moving towards a finish on this one should be nice. Will be nice to get that one done. And I also met up with Roz over half term. So Roz lives about half an hour from my parents-in-law, and I knew she lived around there. So we've had some mail with each other in the past, so I knew how she lived around kind of Staffordshire. And then I met her at Stitch in London in October, and we had a little chat. So I knew she lived close, and so we're going to see the parents-in-law. So I sent them a message and said, do you want to meet up? So we went to her cross-stitch shop in Stafford. It was lovely to see Roz and Charlie the dog, and so we did some cross-stitch shopping whilst my children were taken elsewhere. And then we went and had some ice cream, and fair play to Roz, she was an extremely good sport, because not only was she confronted with me, we have met before, but she was confronted with my husband, 3 children, and my mother-in-law, and she took it all in her stride, and I hope she had a lovely time, because we all did. My children told her really, you know, top drawer knock jokes, and yeah, we just had a nice time, and we saw some, well, I think we said they were turkeys at the time, but Roz, in hindsight, I think they may have been guinea fowl. Anyway, they made a right noise. So the ice cream place is kind of on this farm, and they have like had kind of animals that you could see, I suppose. So they had some guinea pigs, like rescue guinea pigs and rabbits that the kids loved, and they had some sheep. And then there were these, we said they were turkeys, but I'm pretty sure now they were guinea fowl, actually. And then they all jumped in the guinea pig pen. Anyway, the kids loved it. The kids loved it. It was lovely to see Roz, and I hope I didn't put her off too much, and that next time I am up her way, she'll be happy to meet up again. I'm also keeping this Sal in this super cool, very appropriate bag from Penelope's Pocket, which I love. It comes out and about with me. So given that I've just told you about my trip to Roz's L&S, would you like to see the haul I got while I was there? Okay, back in a mo. Okay, I'm back. So I have my bag of haul. I haven't actually taken it out of the bag since I got back from my parents-in-law, but I do have, that's my daughter's haul because she came in as well. She got a needle felting jellyfish kit, but that is hers, so I'll pop it down there. So what did I get? What did I get? Oh, hold on, hold please. I think, is there some threads in here? They're in something. They're in something. Basically, I bought 2 threads. I bought 2 threads while I was there, and I put them in a project bag, and now I can't remember what project bag it was. I thought it was this one, but I don't think it is. I bought 2 Karen Water Lily threads. It's not the end of the world. They were quite nice though. Hold on, I wonder if it's in this one. I know they're in a project bag because I've seen them recently in a project bag. Oh yes, they're in this one. So, I'll show you these first. So I've got these two awesome Karen water lilies colours. They're not the same. They're not the same colour. This brighter one is... You see that, or are you just seeing me? See if I've got some paper. That's going to be too busy. I don't know if I've got any paper. Sorry, I'm a bit snotty. Hold on. I've got a manila envelope. There we go. I've got this one. And this is Tequila Sunrise. Like that. And I got this one, which is slightly kind of darker, which is Hot Peppers. I mainly bought those because we initially went into the cross stitch shop with my children. It's quite a small shop, but they like crafty stuff, so we had a bit of a look around, and then they went off to M&S with Daddy and Grandma. But one of them was like, I love that colour, Mummy. So I kind of bought it for them, really. And then I have, for ages, wanted to try needle felting. I think it looks really fun and quite cathartic. And my eldest has a needle felting kit, not the one I just showed you, another one that, again, it makes kind of a picture. It's not a 3D one. And she's been doing that. And I had a little go and I was like, oh, this is quite fun. Anyway, so Roz's cross stitch shop also had a lot of needle felting. So I bought this needle felting kit to have a bit of a go at. I thought those pumpkins were rather fine, rather splendid. And I thought I'll have a bit of a go at that. And I have had a bit of a look at it. I haven't started it yet, but it does look jolly fun. And it says beginners, easy peasy. So how wrong can I go, really? How wrong can I go? Don't answer that. We will see what it looks like when I've finished. And then the lady that runs Fozzy's shop has clearly run kind of needle workshops for a number of years. Although this shop is about 12 months old, 12 to 18 months old, she's run shops in the past. So she has stock from older shops, and she has underneath kind of the main displays, she basically just has these massive kind of plastic crates just full of charts that you can just flick through. And so I had a really good rummage through those, and I got 4 charts from those. And I think she said some of these she hadn't even bought herself. She'd acquired this stock when she was setting up her first shop from a lady who was selling her business. So some of these charts are quite old. So the first thing I noticed was that she had some of these Green Apple Co. Beatrix Potter booklets. I don't know if you've seen these. There's a whole series of them. All the main Beatrix Potter characters have one. I have lots of these books. I'm happy to get them out and show them sometime if anyone's interested. But I didn't have Jemima Puddle Duck. So I had Peter Rabbit, Jeremy Fisher, Benjamin Bunny, Mrs. Ticky Winkle, like loads and loads of them, but not Jemima. And she had Jemima. So I don't really have any plans to stitch any of these Beatrix Potter. Maybe when I become a grandmother, who knows? But I've got the whole set except this one. So I snapped that up, snapped it up. And then I just got 3 random charts. So the first one I picked up was this one. I don't even know who it's by. Stitch World X Stitch. Copyright 1997. And it's called Medieval Pheasant Tapestry. I just loved that. I love everything about it. Really, really liked it. So got that one. I found this one, which is a cricket collection chart. Again, has it got a date on it? It's number 155. Copyright 1996. And both Roz and I liked this. I'm semi-tempted to stitch it in this thread, because as you can see the words are in quite a bright thread, and it actually says, the chart's called Why Is It? And it says, why is it when I am when is it, if I don't butcher it, it says, why is it when I'm halfway through, creative joys diminish? It's more fun to start a piece than it ever is to finish. And I think that sentiment appealed to both of us. And it's quite a pretty little chart. It'll be quite a pretty little stitch. So I got that. And then this one, it kind of fell apart as we were purchasing it, but it didn't fall apart properly. But it's a Gentle Arts chart. Now, I don't know if Gentle Arts still do charts. I've never seen one. Obviously we all know them from the threads. This is copyright 1994 and it's called The Chrysanthemum Tree. She had about 5 or 6 different charts, but I really liked that one. It reminded me of a couple of Kathy Barrick's, but really liked it. But it's one of those that's got a proper photo just stuck to the front. And as she was putting my purchases through the till, the glue just finally gave way, and so the photo has come detached. But I will get my Pritt stick out and I'll stick it back on. I just thought that was really, really pretty. Couldn't quite resist that one. It's obviously charted in Gentle Arts as well. Be interesting to see if I pull those Gentle Arts, how much like the picture the colours are, because I think we all know Gentle Arts are rather known for huge changes in dye lots, so be interesting to see. So yeah, so that was my day out with Roz, which was jolly good fun. Jolly good fun. Right, I have a solution, and I've talked about plans a little bit along the way, but I have one more plan. So, if you watched my whip parade this year and potentially last year, you will know I have one whip that is an old whip. It's a very old whip that I am not excited about. And every year I get it out and go, and I put it away again. And I think everyone knows I have no love for this whip. This whip is Seasonal Streets by Shannon Christine, and I bought it as a sow. And this is where this poor thing is and has been for quite some time. Here. Like that. So I showed it on my recent whip parade, and you know, I don't love it. I do actually, I just don't want to stitch on it. That's the truth, and there's a lot to go. And Sally from Flossie Sews and Grows said, you don't love it, turn it into a little ornament. She's like, just pull some of it back, finish that little house, because this house needs back stitching, and just turn that into a little ornament. And that is what I am going to do. So I haven't done it yet, but I think I'm going to cut it off here somehow, and then pull it back to here, back stitch it, and then I'll see what I'm left with looks like. I may put a bit of border, maybe try and bring the kind of twiny border around or something. We'll see, I haven't fully decided, but I'm gonna basically back stitch it, say jobs are good done, and FFO, haha, don't laugh, I can hear you laughing, FFO it into an ornament, and then I'll still have a lot of this really, really beautiful fabric, which is called Lilac Sky. I think it's an exclusive to Lakeside Needlecraft. It's on those printed ones. It's 36 count either weave, and I'll have quite a lot of fabric to do something else with. So that is the plan. So Sally had left that comment on my whip parade before I saw Roz for our day out. I spoke to Roz about it and she absolutely agreed, and so thank you, Sally, because, and this is what I love about doing Flosstube, apart from all the friends I've made and the fact that I, you know, now go on retreats and meet up with people, and that's lovely. It's the fact that sometimes you just need an external pair of eyes on your stitching. I would never have got to a place where I was like, call it quits and you can do something with what you've got. I would not have got there in my own mind. All I could see was this massive project that I wasn't getting much joy from and that needed a lot of work. So thank you very much. And this is why comments are great. This is why making a Flosstube, even sporadically like me, is great. It's why we all need some stitchy friends in our life to help us see through these things. So thank you, ladies. I now have a plan, and I will now hopefully end the year with Hawk Run Hollow being my oldest whip. That would be fabulous if I can end the year with Hawk Run Hollow being my oldest whip. I think I would feel not much better. It's not like I sit there worrying about my whips. You know, it's fabric and thread at the end of the day. It's not like it's something to worry about, but I think when I get to next year's whip parade, I don't have to pull out seasonal streets again and go, haven't stitched on it, don't really. Yeah, and because if you're like me, and there are those of us out there who are very much of the I've started so I've finished mentality. UFOing something isn't a great feeling. Like I really struggle to UFO things. So to be able to take that and make it into something basically with minimal extra effort, I feel all right about that, because I don't feel like it's a UFO. I feel like it's a change of plan. So yeah, so thank you, ladies. Right, so March. What's going to happen in March? Well, I think I've talked a lot about what's going to happen in March. I'm going to finish my March wordplay, because the chart needs to go back to its owner, and I need to keep on track. I'm going to stitch on cardinal points and hopefully make some headway. I am going to continue working on my celebration of colour sound and hopefully finish not too far off when the whole thing finishes. And then I have one further big plan. Oh, I'm going to the Essex Needles retreat. And then one more big plan. And that big plan is part of the Fun for 50 sale that Sally Flossie Sews and Grows and Sarah Sew Me Sarah are doing to celebrate their 50th birthday. So they're doing 50 new starts to celebrate their 50th birthday. And I met both Sally and Sarah at Stitch in London in October. Spent more time with Sarah. Sarah was on my table, but I also met Sally. And while we were there, we both bought this chart. Cosford Rise Stitchery Easy Peckings. We both keep hens. And Sally said she's going to start this for one of her starts for her birthday. I said, well, I will start it with you, given we both bought it at the same place and we both have hens. So we have agreed we are going to start this together on Good Friday, which is 29th of March, I think, this year. Pretty sure it's sandwiched between my son's birthday and my parents' wedding anniversary. 29th of March. And I have kitted it up. I have pulled, this is Flober. It's Zweigart Flober linen in raw, I think. I'd have to double check that. And I pulled, I think I had all but 2 of the threads in stash. I did go and buy the other 2 fancy flosses, but I had all but 2 in stash. And I've got it in this wonderful Penelope's Pocket project bag that I bought. She did these for Valentine's Day. How cute are all those loved up animals? How cute are they? So I jumped on that. So thank you, Sarah, that was lovely. So I'm all ready to go with that. I'll find out properly what that list is called. The called for is Cafe Ole by Fibre on a Whim. I have loads of Fibre on a Whim because I joined the Patchwork Rabbit Fibre on a Whim club, and I have cappuccino, I have latte. So Cafe Ole must be like their only coffee named fabric that I don't own, but I don't. My one question with this fabric is whether it's going to be too light for the white hen or the cream hen, which is charted in eggshell, which is this one here. And I worry they're going to blend together too much. Maybe not. I'll have to have a look at it, but I'll either go a bit brighter with the thread or a bit dark with the fabric. We own a white hen and she's very, very white. Very white, much whiter than that. So I think I could go whiter. She doesn't have a black bum like that one. She's 100% white. She's called Nico Jr. Our hens have really random names because we let the kids choose their names. I don't know. Nico, it's something to do with Nintendo Switch game. I don't know. Don't know. Can't help you. So that's my plans. I have one more thing to show you, stitching wise, that I forgot about. I have Penelope's Pocket do these super great kind of thread holders, and they've got a little needle minder up here, and on the outside is a 32 count linen. Now she does them in all different colours. There's 3 different colourways. This one's an Elsie, I think. This pink and vintage country mocha combo. And what I've been doing is basically a little almost spot sampler of my stitching. So when I stitch something, I then, if there's a suitable motif, I pick it out and I pop it on my Elsie. So since I last saw you, I've done this hand down here, this heart in hand, which is here on the Valentine's piece I did for my husband. So that went on there. And then this key is from the February wordplay. I couldn't find anything from the January wordplay to put on there really that I thought would work, but the key from February went on there. I'm quite pleased with that. I do love this microbe from the Wash Your Hands piece. So I will keep adding to that and I will keep showing it to you as I do so. And then do you want to see a very, very fast bit of knitting? If you don't want to see knitting, there's only one thing. I will say goodbye here. Thank you very much for stopping by. If you are holding on for the knitting, give me 2 moments. I showed this, I think, on my January Flosstube. This is my Tin Can Knits flax jumper. So Crafting Kirsty has finished her first jumper. I haven't done that. I haven't finished it yet, but I am getting there. So here is where I am. It's kind of a crop top at the moment. I have finished my raglan increases. I have separated my sleeves and I'm just knitting down the body. And the sleeves are here, ready to go for after I've finished the body. The kind of gusset pattern down the side. So I'm pretty pleased with myself. Pretty pleased with myself. As I say, it's a bit of a kind of crop top at the moment. I am knitting this. I said the wrong thing last time. I'm knitting it. It's 100% wool. It's a Aran weight. I think I said acrylic. I meant it's an Aran weight 100% wool yarn. It is, I think, hoping this is it. It's essential. It's by Rico Design and it's Essentials Soft Merino Aran. And it's like the colourway. It's number 55. It's called Stone or something like that. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. And I'm just on the round and round now. I am a little bit worried about the sleeves. I'll have to see how this goes. So I cast on what it tells you to cast on. And it's all there, you know, and you pick them up and go round. But I'm just worried that if I just pick up the stitches, there's going to be some holes. I don't know if that makes sense, if you're a better knitter than I am. Anyway, I'll see. I'll pick it up, I'll see what it looks like. And if I have to make an adjustment, I will. But yeah, I'm enjoying that. I'm quite proud of myself doing something so, well, for me, complex. But it's actually quite easy. If I can do it, you can do it. I promise you. I can do it. You can do it. And that's it. That is all I've got today. I've got to go in 10 minutes to go and get the children from school. I thought it would be longer than usual just because it's been a while since I've been here. But if you have stopped by, thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please give me a like and a subscribe. It'd be lovely to get a few more subscribers. And I will see you hopefully soon. I'm not going to make any promises because I've been so rubbish recently about keeping to any kind of schedule. But hopefully before too long I will be back. I will try and come back before I go to Essex Needles Retreat. That would be super. But we'll see. I make no promises. I know I've got a few things coming up. So it's been lovely to see you. It's been lovely to chat to you and spend time with you. And I'm waffling and I need to go. See you all soon, Stitchers.